Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Married to Medicine Season 9, Episode 3. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows, and also the reactions. If you're returning, you're one of my peoples, welcome back. So, we don't have any comments from last week's videos. We're going to jump right on in. The men discuss Anila and Karen, showing up as movers, and how that has upset Toya and Eugene because like you supposed to be my friend, and even I think it was Cecil, it was either Cecil or Dr. Scott was like, yeah, I thought it was funny because it was funny, but like when I realized how hurt my friend was, I just didn't say nothing else about it. But Curtis was like, well, that was basically nothing. What they did is nothing compared to what you was saying to me. But I was like, yeah, it was worse because what you did was worse. You not only cheated on Jackie, and they was just saying how you was putting your ball in all kind of nets. So yeah. Then they discussed how Toya's been feeling lonely lately because Dr. Eugene was working at two different ERs during the height of the panorama, and he didn't have no time for his family. Like a lot of couples went through a lot of stress and suffering during the panorama, especially those in the medical field because they were so up close with, helping people who had the Rona and scared that they're going to get it themselves, bring it home to their families. The families worried about you at the hospital and worried about you bringing stuff home. Like, it was a lot. Then they talk about the comments that was made by Toya and the way she hop, skipped, and jumped around that question when they was asking about Eugene's private parts and whether it was going to get bigger. And she was like, well, I thought you was talking about marriage. I thought you said this. Like, I wasn't calling it small. It's just that when we got married, like, the sex became lame. I was like, Toya, you were steady digging your own grave, baby. First, you were saying how I thought it was going to get bigger and making us think that you think that it is small. Then you talking about the sex is lame. I'm like, girl, no. And then you made that comment last week. Don't mind my husband. He over there watching something. That you get lonely, and then when you told that same thing to Dr. Jackie, that the reason why Curtis was out here cheating was because he was lonely. It's like you were down going to make you. The more and more you talk, the more guilty and guiltier you sound. Then Toy and Dr. Eugene, they going back and forth with Quad because they've been. Toya say something about Quad. Quad say something about Toya and Dr. Eugene, and then all the mess comes about. And Quad was just basically like, if you're going to say something about me, I'm going to say something about you. If you're going to say that I'm out here sleeping with married men, then I'm going to go out here and repeat the rumor that I heard that you was sleeping with somebody in the neighborhood. How about that? How about I'm going to say your husband is this, that, and the third? What else you want? I'm admitting what I said. Just don't come for me and I ain't going to come for you. That's the type of situation. Then they talk about Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contestant getting into it at Dr. Simone's house. And for the first time, Dr. Damon gets upset and checks Heavenly. Heavenly said how she was dealing with her mom and she was not in the mood. And she told this to Dr. Simone. Dr. Damon, he had a rough day. And he was like, if it goes left, I'm leaving. It went left, but it was like, how come you did not, Simone, how come you didn't stop this? And she's like, even Dr. Damon couldn't stop this. So what you expect me to do? Like, y'all was fussing back and forth. I'm upset that Dr. Damon got upset in my house. It was like, y'all two was going back and forth, cutting up several of the foods. There was no way or nothing that I could have done to stop y'all. And I was like, I kind of get it. But at the same time, Dr. Simone, she be seeming like she a little bit of an instigator. And then she just sits back and watches as everything unfolds. Yeah. They discuss heavily getting on YouTube and saying what she want to say about the ladies. And when they asked her to stop, she'll apologize and then go back to doing it again. Now, Quad wants to ask Dr. Damon some questions, but Heavenly spent 2 minutes in saying different ways, don't talk to my husband, don't ask my husband no question, he ain't gonna answer you, this, that, and the third. So Andy was like, well, how about I ask him? And the look that Heavenly gave him was like, He has nothing to say. I didn't want Quad to ask him. That don't mean you can ask him either. But Dr. Dan was like, I'm a man and I'm going to answer the question, but I'm not going to disrespect my wife. Simple as that. I don't know. I kind of felt some type of way where she was like, basically, Andy, you're not going to ask my husband questions. I can understand Quiet. Don't be asking my husband nothing. But Andy, it's like, what would you, are you scared that he was going to say something? Like, this season, it kind of, like, showed that, like, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon are, like, every other married couple. It's not always cupcakes, rainbows, puppies, and kittens. Like, y'all get into it. There's nothing wrong with getting into it with your spouse every once in a while. Now, when you start putting hands on each other, that's one thing. But y'all having a simple disagreement and argument, that happens in relationships. Child, the way Dr. Heavenly acted like she was so offended when they went to that strip club and basically saying how she did not want to be there. And then they rolled that beautiful bean footage and she was just as happy as a hog and slop. Like, she was out on whipping the strippers. She was on stage like, yes, yes, just having the time of her life. But let her tell it, she was almost like there against her will and she did not like it at all. And then lastly, some shirtless men bring out some champagne for the ladies. And the making it rain machine, Toy was having her at the time of her life. And Dr. Eugene was like, Toya, like he was screaming her name and she did not hear a thing. But I did notice that she had like a few $100s in her hand, like as they was in and off the episode. I did notice that. So y'all, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so my beautiful Facebook video. You can click on it, you can like it, and share with your people. You can come up and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come up and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.